20 years, tennis felt like a John Wick movie. You knew what was going to happen, you didn't exactly know how it was going to happen. It was often way over the top.
Absolutely sensational! Oh, can you believe it? He's done it again!
And at the end, the same guys won. Now, tennis feels like some kind of David Lynch movie. You have no freaking idea what's going on. When you think you're onto something, it goes the opposite direction. And when finally some kind of stability seems to emerge, it immediately goes off the window with some chaotic news. Basically, after a 20 years hiatus, tennis is back to normal. It is total chaos. But is it really? Here's what this new normal looks like. The player who won the most in the past few weeks is
Jack Draper.
Not him.
Jakob Mensen.
Not him either. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the one guy who hasn't played and who really doesn't know how to dress for a hike. Still war number 1, Jannik Sinner. How come he's the winner? Well, first he's banned, but for the best possible period. Then all the guys who could steal his spot decided to either shit themselves or shit themselves. Sinner may not be as mind-blowing as Alcaraz or legendary as Djokovic, but he is the actual ATP boss, who's not around. Number 2, Zverev used to win Masters 1000 and lose Grand Slam finals. Now he's just some guy with a bad haircut. Number 3, Alcaraz might be the greatest tennis talent that ever lived, but right now he's as reliable as Mark Zuckerberg's maturity level. The man beats Djokovic in 2 successive Wimbledon finals, but freaks out before playing Draper in a Masters 1000 semi-final? No disrespect to Draper, but he's 24 slams short of Djokovic. Then you have the usual "we don't know what to do with these guys anymore" group. They're kinda there, but don't really contend for Grand Slams, but if Sinner gets suspended because of his sunscreen, if Alcaraz gets banned because of his style, if Djokovic decides to become a circus artist,
if doesn't exist.
And of course, the most exciting group, the teenagers. 3 tennis prodigies who for some reason all have the same kind of hearing issues, apparently contagious. João Fonseca, the powerhouse from Rio. Brings half the population of Brazil everywhere he goes and likes to talk about himself at the third person.
Draw from last year was 700 and nowadays he's 70.
João from a year ago, he would probably lose this match.
Epá menino, tava a esperar até ganhar 25 Grand Slam antes de falar assim. Jakub Mensik, who was drawing as much attention to himself as a Prius in the morning traffic and suddenly wins his first title by beating Djokovic in straight sets with a haircut that people in talk show will remind him of 20 years from now. Lerner Tien, who got his first name from his mom, who's a teacher, and who has a sister named Justice after the father, who's a lawyer. Which really makes you think of what would have happened if they were a butcher and a construction worker. This apparent chaos seems to make things wide open for the rest of the year. Then again, it was kind of the same last year.
More wide open than we've seen in 15-20 years.
Alcaraz. Djokovic.
Sinner.
So people are lost, sad, pissed, they want dominance, they want dozens of slams, they want a big 3. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this is like living in the UK, having a whole summer of blue sky and hot weather and expecting it to happen for the rest of your life. It won't. However, until someone else than these guys wins a Grand Slam regularly, talking of chaos is slightly preposterous to say the least. So with all of this in mind, here are my predictions for the rest of the year. Jannik Sinner will win Rome, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, the US Open, the Masters, the 100 meters butterfly and the Champions League. Or João Fonseca will win Roland Garros, Giovanni Pesci-Pericard, Wimbledon, and Botic van de Zandschulp will crush everyone at the US Open and come back from 2 sets down against Zverev in the finals. Or Novak Djokovic will win Wimbledon and get his 25th slam, make an overdose of grass and end up passing out on the center court. Or them again. What's your prediction?